Santa Claus is coming to town and he's here to kick some ass. This week we watched Violent Night. Stick around to
Okay.
see what we have to say about it.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another iPopcorn for that review. I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
Today we are talking about Violent Night. So this came out last Christmas, and it is directed by Tommy Wirkola. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it stars David Harbour, John Leguizamo, Beverly D'Angelo. So this is basically, I'm sure a lot of people heard talk about this last year, but this is basically a Christmas action thriller, I guess, or maybe not even a thriller, just an action movie. But it pays homage to some other Christmas movies along the way that might be pretty obvious to anyone watching this. But the story, we've got a very jaded, very cynical, very drunk Santa Claus, and it pretty much kicks you off like right off the bat with like, get used to this is what you're getting here. So get used to, if you can't handle Santa puking on a lady in the first like 40 seconds of the movie, you're probably not gonna like the rest of the movie. But yeah, so Santa's jaded. He ends up, we're following a little girl. Her parents are separated, but they're getting together for this family get together, Christmas get together. I guess it's their first one, like not as a couple. And so this family's getting together, and the matriarch of the family is this very loud personality, Beverly D'Angelo. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, it's the mom from like the Vacation movies, or most of
Yeah.
them. Her voice is so crazy as well. It's so like
I don't wanna-
she's been smoking a pack of cigarettes every hour for the past 30 years.
Yeah, I don't want to be too mean, but
Yeah.
I don't know. She's hard to recognize. But Beverly D'Angelo's character is the matriarch of the family, and you find out she's got more money than she even leads on, and pretty soon
A very
team of
wealthy
criminals-
family, yeah.
Yeah, and pretty soon a team of criminals led by John Leguizamo as Mr. Scrooge come in, and it turns into a mixture of Die Hard and Home Alone. And I think it knows that's what it does. It's not a secret, like it wants you to know that's what it's going for. And the Home Alone stuff, it's kind of like a little taste of what Home Alone would have been like if it had happened the way it probably would happen more like in real life.
Yeah, if the people would have died from everything that
Yeah.
Kevin actually did.
And then, the Die Hard reference is loose, but it is, this building being but Santa just ends up showing up at this house in the midst of this takeover, and hilarity and violence and all that ensues. What did you think about it at the end of the day, though? Like, do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you in the middle?
I thought it was a pretty fun movie for what it is. Like, it's a new, not a new take, I guess. It's been done, but it was fun. Like, the kills were really violent. It lives up to its name, that's for sure. I like David Harbour. I have a soft spot for John Leguizamo.
Yeah, so for me, I think, it is a pretty fun movie. It's kind of got what you expect based on the trailers and stuff like that. I think it could have been two things. I think it could have been either a little more fun or maybe a little less goofy. Like sometimes it tiptoed in the realm of like, oh my God, there's like a Christmas joke a second. Like
Right.
There's like people getting stabbed with candy canes. Everybody's getting murdered with like fireplace tools. All the nicknames for people are like Gingerbread and Mr. Scrooge and Tinseltown and on and on. It's like a joke a second. And I don't know that I was really laughing out loud. I will say that for me, like it was a little bit of a chore to get through like the first, I don't know, really maybe like the first two acts of the movie.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
you see that sledgehammer,
Right.
everything from Sledgehammer on is pretty cool. It's like, I don't know, my brain doesn't quite know what to do with this level of non-reality because it's so a movie that like it needed to be kind of over the top campy fun to really work for me because it takes itself seriously on top of being so goofy to the point where it's like, I don't know how to feel. I'm not really like super attached to these characters because they're such like a joke. But
Yeah.
it's also like when we're supposed to be really taking it seriously and feeling sorry for Santa or feeling like the whole Santa thing. I don't know. It's a weird dichotomy to put like Santa Claus as like a serious character. He's got like Viking roots and he's got a history and he lived a life and everything.
in this movie that otherwise is pretty goofy time.
Yeah, it's kind of weird
So
too to make him like a warrior, and then he just becomes Santa Claus and he's giving out gifts. But
yeah, and they
they
don't tell
gotta
you
make
how that
it.
happens.
Yeah, they don't tell you how that happens, but I get why they do it because it's like, oh, Santa's a badass and he can kill all these people. But it's like, what? Why did this badass Viking warrior who uses a warhammer become Santa Claus?
Yeah, they don't. We don't get you there because it's like it's not like he was so good and he cleaned his room as a little Viking boy and everything was
Yeah,
like he's like, no, I've done a ton of bad stuff. I've killed a bunch of people. And it's like, and then one day, I guess I was Santa. I don't. He doesn't even say that much, and it's fine. I don't need a whole bunch of lore, and I get that Santa has the Viking roots in real life, but yeah, I
yeah,
just like he was the best. So let me say that as a positive. David Harbour is by far the best part of this. He's taken his role very seriously. He turns in a good performance, I thought. Everybody else kind of, I don't know if there was any other standout. I mean, Beverly D'Angelo's kind of giving it her all, but the character's kind of inconsequential. Kind of all the characters besides Santa are a little bit inconsequential for
right.
me.
I guess the
And some
little
of
girl,
the,
like she's the only other main character you're kind of rooting for to survive, I guess.
I hate to say it, I was feeling like her performance felt very acty. It feels very like in a
Yeah,
play or something like that. It's not terrible, but it's just not. It felt like it was not in a movie. It felt like a stage play or something to me. And none of the acting really like nothing came to the rose to the occasion the way David Harbour did for me. I like John Leguizamo, but some of the like I don't know if he was given the best script. Like some of the writing is kind of like it's very like here's why I hate Christmas. Here's what happened to me, and that's why I gotta ruin Christmas now. And it was
yeah,
just a little. It was a little like thrown together to me. Like we gotta have a reason why this guy just hates Christmas. What's the first thing that comes to mind? And we're going with it. Shut up! I don't want another idea.
right.
Um, so, and a lot of this was kind of like that. Like things get even the stuff about his Santa's Viking roots. It's kind of like, yeah, I was a Viking and I had a hammer and I killed some people, and you don't need to know about the rest. It's just that's how it was. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Things don't get a lot of. I'm just not. I'm not sure how much better of a movie you could make for me out of this. Like it's gonna find its audience. If you haven't already seen it, you probably if something like a throwback to Die Hard and Home Alone mixed together with Santa Claus and all kinds of Christmassy jokes
Yeah,
and euphemisms
and
heaped onto it. If that sounds fun, you'll probably have a good time with this.
that's kind of what I expected from it, anyways. Like I didn't expect this movie to have the greatest story. I was there for just like the homage to the Die Hard Home Alone type thing, and just like the brutality of the name of the movie.
When you get the Home Alone stuff, I thought the times where the movie succeeded the best are David Harbour's stuff
Hmm.
and the Home Alone stuff. The villain, all the villains stuff. Like I said, I thought it could have maybe benefited from better writing or something there. And also, I think they could have tightened this up for the kind of movie it is. It didn't need to be nearly 2 hours. I think they
Right.
could have. I'm not sure where they could have cut some things, but there was some cutting to be done. I will say I did think of one other person. Our main guy. So like the main little girl, she has the two parents that are split up. Her father is like the one that's actually in this family. And
Hmm.
his sister character, I think she was on Vice Principals. Am I right?
Yeah, she's on Vice Principals. She's in the Righteous Gemstones. I like her. Edie
She's funny.
Patterson.
Yeah, I take it back. The other standout
She's good.
performance is from her. She's
Yeah.
funny. But some of the jokes didn't quite land for me. So most of the time, if things were working, it was because of her or David Harbour. And like I said, I think David Harbour tried to give you something to like care about and like make it feel like a real character. It's just inside of a movie that doesn't take itself as seriously as he is.
Right.
So made for a weird like mixed bag for me.
And they don't
I
really.
mostly recommend it to people that if you think you'd like this though.
Yeah, if you're just looking for a fun time with a people getting their asses kicked and stuff, and Santa Claus is the one doing it, and he gets his ass kicked quite a bit. And I feel like they didn't really explain how his magic works, did they? They just kind
He
of
doesn't even know.
Yeah, that's right. And it's like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the power of Christmas, or he's not believing as much anymore. I love the creativity of some of the kills. I want to kind of ruin one, but
Go for it.
yeah, there's a scene where they're fighting in like I don't know, like a man cave or something like that, and there's a pool table and like a little Christmas tree in there, and he ends up killing the guy, Santa Claus, David Harbour. Takes like the Christmas topper that's a star and uses it as like a throwing star and just hits him in the eye and electrocutes him through that. It's pretty fucking
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. There are some creative kills here for sure, and I think there's a lot of fun to be had for sure. Is it a movie I'm going to revisit every year? No, probably not.
Yeah.
But you could do a lot worse. I mean, there's been other, Christmas horror movies or Christmas action movies, thrillers, stuff like that I don't think have stuck the landing quite like this. So yeah, you could do a lot worse. And this is the same team that came. So I think it's the writing team here, but they've done the Sonic the Hedgehog movies,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think for what they are, like those, you would expect those to be a lot worse than they are. I don't know if you've seen them, but
I haven't know.
oh yeah, if you have a preconceived notion about how a Sonic the Hedgehog movie would be, it is just better than it has any right to be. I'm not saying like they're going to change your life or anything, but I think these guys can turn a story around that sounds kind of mediocre because I think this got a lot of praise last year, honestly, for people
Yeah,
saying like
I
this is
wanted to see it last year, and then like
better than it sounds like it would be.
yeah, I just never got. I think the holiday season didn't get around to it, and I was like, well, I might as well wait until next Christmas to watch it.
So what would you what score would you give this movie?
I'd give it like a 6.5, just because I enjoyed the kills and the brutality and like David Harbour's performance. But like you said, the story wasn't very great, and they just kind of left things open-ended on why they happen.
hmm
But it was a fun little movie.
And it's close to 2 hours, so I could see somebody getting a little bit like antsy toward the end of it. But yeah, for those combination of reasons, I think I'll give it a 6. It would probably be a 5.5 if David Harbour hadn't like brought it up a little more.
Yeah,
So not bad. I'm interested to see how. So we're going to do a very different Christmas. The next Christmas themed movie we're going to do is I think a very different thing here, and I think takes itself a lot more seriously. But I am woefully unaware of much about this movie. But Black Christmas is the next one we're going to be talking about. So we'll see how that compares to this, or if there is any comparison to be made besides them both being holiday movies.
right.
And we got Wonka coming out very soon as well. So we'll see how all this lines up. You might be seeing Wonka first. I don't know. But thanks for sticking around with us, guys. Watch some of our back catalog. We got that Godzilla review and Saltburn and Dream Scenario. Nobody watched Dream Scenario. Go watch that. That's an interesting.
Yeah.
We talked about that, and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to get to 500 subs before. Well, I don't know before when. Before the end of next year, I guess.
Right.
500 subs. and yeah, hit like if you like this video. Share it with somebody that you think might get something out of it. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.